During my year of incarceration before sentencing, I distanced myself from Kate. It was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. Harder than being locked up, or even knowing the result of it all would be death. Tougher than believing Grandma was dead, or being orphaned, because I knew it meant I would be alone for what little time I had left. Just me again, without the love of a woman I adored with every ounce of my being. I had to do it because I'm bad news. As the days passed by in a repetition of sameness that was somehow a comfort, and I sat in my cell with nothing but my thoughts, I came to understand one awful truth about myself and the life I lived. I wasn't worth the bother. Ever since I'd hooked up with Kate, and even before, I'd brought her no end of trouble. I got her involved with rogue vampires that tried to kill her in her own home, got her mixed up with Tavi and his plan of absolute domination, and she'd fought to the death and still had to watch Plum die. I'd gone to Kate in times of need after I screwed up, and all she got in return was grief. So, for her own good, because I am a selfish man and don't deserve to be happy, I told her we were through. It took a year for me to build up the courage to say it, for me to accept it was for the best, and anyway, I would most likely be dead soon, although I would do my best to not let that happen. I never knew there were so many tears inside a human being. Not hers, mine. I cried like a baby as I sat across from her in my cell and told her all this, and more. Intimate things, secret things. Things between her and me I will never tell another living soul. For the first time in my life, I spoke of the depths of my emotions, of my love for her and how she made me feel whole. I spoke honestly about the private times we'd shared, and the utter joy she gave me when we were together, or I saw her smile or shake her head in that delightful way she does. I told her we had to end it. I attracted death like the dude with the scythe himself. She had to stay away from me. I was dangerous, bad news, and I didn't deserve her. She certainly didn't deserve me and the hurt and pain I allowed into her life. She should forget about me. I cried, kept on crying, my red shirt soaked. Yes, I was allowed my own clothes, and I dressed smart every day, as I do have standards. It was like I was constantly being topped up with tears, and they wouldn't stop. All of this she allowed me to say, standing in my cell with her arms crossed, face impassive, until I was out of words. It was best to do it now, mere hours after my sentencing. Who knew how long until they actually set a date? After all, they'd tried and found me guilty a year ago, yet made me wait this long to hear my sentence. Then she slapped me across the side of the head, and the tears stopped. Not just any old slap, no, this was a whack with vampire intent. I flew across my cell, slammed face first into the wall, and felt pain to rival calling magic from the empty, as my nose split and I crumpled to the cold concrete floor, trailing blood as I went. "Idiot! I love you. You're stuck with me, Faz. You saved me from dying, gave me a choice. I chose life, I chose you, now and always." And with that she nodded to the amused guard who unlocked my cell. With my eyes full of tears and my mouth full of blood from my streaming broken nose, I heard, rather than saw, the door bang shut. Feeling, I think understandably, a little sorry for myself, I sat on my bunk and tried to straighten my nose, but other things hurt more, so I gave up on it. Instead, I wandered back and forth, making a mess of the room. 3 hours later, after another visitor that did something despicable to me, I was being escorted from the prison and found myself unceremoniously dumped outside on the front steps. The sky was clear and blue. I had a plaster across my nose, and my suit was wrinkled and covered in my own blood. Oh, and there were a dozen really pissed-off vampires waiting for me. Guess that's what happens when you send an army of the resurrected dead to storm Vampire HQ and kill the most powerful vampire in the country in a blast of magic-induced